So one weird controversy I do want to like hear your opinion about is the VTubing controversy.
Oh yeah.
Like what the fuck happened there? Like,
Okay, so for anyone that might not know, like the beginning of the pandemic-ish, at some point, I thought VTubers were so cool.
Yeah.
And I love me some good anime girl art, right? So
Yeah,
I got like a VTubing model done, and I was like, well, this could be a fun thing to use if I don't feel like being on camera.
right.
Yeah.
And then when I came out with it, like I think a lot of people were really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like I saw that people were mad, but at the same time I was like, why?
Yeah, where was like in that controversy, or not controversy, but that's whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
Where was the majority of like the backlash coming from there? Like,
Yeah.
what was it? Your
Like,
audience?
who was
or it
who was
Oh
mad?
no, for sure not my audience. If anything, they were intrigued.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, in hindsight, I'm like, I hope I was a positive force in like VTubers becoming more popular.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of my audience is probably very different from the VTubing audience, but I
Yeah.
helped probably like normalize the idea of like using this sort of tech.
Right.
Obviously VTubers are popping because
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah,
content
yeah.
is so cool. But I think people were just mad because I think a lot of people were used to being mad at me, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Like, she's
that's how
using
I
our
felt.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
And then I think some other ones, it was probably like a little bit of a gatekeeping thing, partially understandable, where they're
Yeah.
like, we don't want you to like ruin this sacred
Oh,
community.
yeah,
we
yeah,
have."
yeah.
Which obviously feels bad for me because I'm like, I obviously am not looking to ruin anything. Like this
Yeah.
is a cool piece of tech that I want to showcase to more people.
Yeah.
It's a dumb argument when you look at the fact that many corporate entities have VTuber models.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, come on, you can't blame a person who's a creator for doing it when there's fucking, I don't know, I think an airline has one, and it's like, for what purpose?
I mean,
Like,
nowadays, fucking every Japanese
Everyone
company has a
has
VTuber.
one.
Yeah, and it's just
Crunchyroll,
spokesperson.
they have one as well. You know,
Everyone has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, why are
A
you?
lot of
yeah,
my
why-
friends made them as well.
Yeah.
Like they're just
Were
fun
you-
and cute.
Were you expecting any controversy when you launched your VTuber model, or was it just like, oh, here we go again?
Yeah.
You know, they found something else.
I think it was an in between where I was just like so used to it. I was like, people
Yeah.
are gonna be mad
Yeah,
at
dude.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it was an instance where I wasn't that upset because I was actually reassured by a lot of like really, really nice and cool VTubers. I think Iron Mouse might have been one of them,
Right.
if memory serves.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, like this is cool. Why not? She's like bringing more eyes to the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like being nice and respectful. And
Yeah.
she commissioned someone from the community. Like if anything, it's like bringing more work
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
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 Oh my God. I remember at that time, everybody was booked up for months. Like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
were
Oh,
doing
they still
are.
anything
Oh,
for
yeah.
me,
They
it
still
was
are.
over,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Well, I think the
So
issue.
yeah, it was like
yeah.
a good time, I hope, for the community.
Yeah, because I think the issue at that time was that VTubing was still like this underground thing, hadn't like broken into like the
Especially in the
mainstream.
West.
Especially in the West, you know,
Yeah.
in Japan, totally different culture.
Yep.
But in the West, it was still like this underground thing that was kind of getting traction, and it kind of felt like, I'm sure to a lot of fans being like, you know, when your underground indie band
Yes,
comes out to
yes.
get signed up by like a big company, and you're like, damn,
Yeah.
they've look at all these normies coming
I
to
like
enjoy
It's
the
It's
same
like when
thing
people- I
I
was like,
enjoy.
oh yeah, I love that band. I heard them in the Marvel movie. And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's so much more than that, though.
I wanna stay inside forever in that worn out yellow sweater.